Hello, Chapel Hill family. Betty here. I am super bummed at the fact that we aren't able to gather together on Sundays for worship, Sunday school, and of course, Kids Club. With that being the situation at the moment, we have to make sure that we are using our resources as best as we can. And so, of course, we are super thankful at the fact that we have technology this advanced to be able to communicate with one another, the fact that we're able to call one another and not only just call each other, but like physically see each other on a tablet or a phone or a computer is amazing. And so we are super thankful for that. And so one of the big blessings we do have is this wonderful technology of being able to record ourselves and connect with you guys that way. So we are super thankful for that, and we are super thankful that you guys are here today and able to join us. I hope you guys are staying protected. These are some of the items that I have in hand-ish at the moment. So I have some hand soap, I have some rubbing alcohol. I had to make up my own hand sanitizer because unfortunately there weren't any at the stores. So I just mixed this up with a few other things. And so if you want that recipe, please let me know and I can help you guys out with that. Of course, my face mask, some few disinfecting sprays I have at home. The bleach, can't miss that. Some other cleaning supplies, right? So I hope you guys are staying protected. So I bet you guys have heard and read and seen on the news a lot about this virus that's happening all around the world at the moment. It can be a little bit scary, can it? There are many people who have gotten sick with this virus. And the thing about it, this virus is something you can't see with your eyes. Some people don't believe that it's a big deal, but it's important to be careful. It's very, very, very tiny and possible to spread it without even realizing it. We can't see the virus, but we know that it does and what it does because we see the effects it has on people. So when we do things like keep things clean and washing our hands or using sanitizer, we're trying to stay safe. We can't see all the protective things in our cleaning supplies, but we must trust that they will kill the germs and help us, right? Our lives are a little bit like that. So we do sinful things that can harm us, and we need protection for our hearts. Do you know where you get that? Yes, so we do get it from God, of course. And the great news is that unlike hand sanitizer, we don't have to worry about how effective God's work is because we know that in Jesus, we are already clean. So before we continue, want to make sure that you guys have a Bible with you. So if you do, awesome. If you don't have a physical Bible with you, it is perfectly okay. If you are watching this through your laptop, your parent's phone, maybe a tablet, that is perfect because you guys are able to look up our message story with this technology. So of course, all you have to do is look up our Bible verse for today, and those will be down with the information with today's video, okay? So make sure you pause the video and you read that before you continue. Awesome. So last week we celebrated a very special holiday. So we know it as Easter, right? And so on this special day, we are celebrating the fact that Jesus died in the cross and he rose again. And so we are celebrating the fact that Jesus is still alive. So in this gospel lesson, we see that one of Christ's disciples named Thomas said that he wouldn't believe Jesus had really come back from the dead. And so the only way he would believe that was if he could see him and touch him physically. Well, Jesus showed up, and there was no one doubting or denying his resurrection. He told Thomas that he was believing and that he would believe after seeing. But Jesus said that people who believe without seeing are especially blessed. okay? So people who believe without seeing are especially blessed. So who might that be? Believing without seeing. Do you think that can be us, right? We haven't seen Jesus on earth, and we can't see God with our own eyes, but we believe that Jesus did come to live, die, and rise again. And so this gives us a lot of joy and hope. Even when things are uncertain and we don't know what the future holds, we know who holds the future. We know that God is in control. We can't see the virus, and that's super scary. But we also can't see what causes sin, and that's super scary as well. But God is much greater than sickness, sin, and even death. He loves us enough to send Jesus to die to defeat all of that. We know that our trust in Him will protect us no matter what. So of course, God in His love conquers and casts out fear. We can still be careful and keep ourselves clean and safe, but we trust that God is in control. We haven't seen Jesus, but we know the effect His work has on us. And we know it. It gives us life, right? So Clorox wipes may do some of the work, and Clorox wipes may also dry out. But God's love and power never fails. And you have to believe that, right? So as I mentioned, this virus can be a little bit scary. And so we are scared of something that we don't see. We're scared of something that is super tiny, but that does a lot of effect, right? And so it's crazy because we have something that's super tiny and has such a massive effect on our lives and on the lives of others, just like this virus does. And that's faith. And so I encourage you guys to continue to trust God and love God and show others God's love and God's trust on us and the way we take care of our planet and one another, but also showing others how to trust on God, right? Because that's all He asks us to do, right? We ask of God so much. We ask Him to help us. We ask Him to heal us. We ask Him to protect us. And all God asks us to do is to trust Him and love Him. Super simple. So I want you guys to think of ways that we can continue to have trust in God and to have our faith grow stronger and stronger each day, okay? So, of course, we have stories in the Bible, and we know that God's words say it's true, right? In order to trust someone or something, we have to know that it's trustworthy, right? So God has most definitely proved Himself trustworthy. He does what He says He'll do. His promises are real and are true. So the Bible gives us great hope. We can't see God Himself necessarily, but we see His evidence and know He gives us life. The Bible is God's word given to us so that we can know and believe, right? Awesome. So it is super important to recognize the fact that we are able to stay home, right? And stay safe and keep our distance from one another, right? And so with that being said, it's also super important to recognize the fact that there are people out there that are out there and risking their own lives and their own health to make sure that we are staying protected and that we are getting all of our resources to our homes, of course. And so it's super important to recognize the fact that these people are putting so much work out there, and super important to be thankful, right? And I know a lot of you guys have heard and talked about this, and a lot of you guys have heard and seen stories in the news about these amazing heroes, right? Because these people are doing so much to help us out. And so again, as a Chapel Hill family, I think it'd be an awesome opportunity for us to all not physically get together, but to get together in this activity and be able to get all the fun coloring paper, construction paper, line paper, whatever you can get your hands on, scissors, markers, glue, glitter, whatever you like, whatever your parents will also appreciate you guys using today. But finding the time to make some nice cards, some letters, writing notes, whatever you can to those who are doing this amazing job, and making sure that we are staying safe, right? And making sure that we're recognizing that we're thankful for these people. The fact that we are a little bit tiny little bit scared at the situation, and the fact that it can be scary for us, we can only imagine how much scarier it is for the people who are out there actually, doing this work and being around people who may be sick. And so again, I encourage you guys to find these supplies if you can, and write a nice encouraging letter, a nice thank you letter, a nice thank you drawing, encouraging drawing, and letting these people know that you are thankful for the work they are doing, because it's super important that we recognize the work that they are doing. And so with that being said, I think this is a perfect opportunity for us to end in prayer. For today's prayer, I want us to do this prayer like we would during children's time or during our regular prayers at Kids Club. And so what I'll do is I'll say something, I'll say a prayer, a line of a prayer, and I want you guys at home to say the prayer with me. It's super important to stay connected with one another, and I think this is a perfect opportunity for us to connect by praying together. And I love this idea of praying with one another, and especially at a time like this, okay? So awesome. So join me, please. So if you can bow your heads and close your eyes. So, dear God, thank you for saving us. Thank you for your love. Help us to believe even in what we cannot see. Thank you for Jesus. In his name, amen. So this is it for today. We are super thankful that you guys were able to join us this morning. And of course, if you guys have any questions, make sure you write those below in the comment section. Again, I encourage you guys to write those letters, even if you can't write them. If you by chance go to the grocery stores with mom and dad, grandma and grandpa, whoever you go to the grocery store with, make sure that you are at least thanking some of those workers, even if it's from afar, from distance, of course, making sure you're still staying safe, but making sure they're being thanked because they are doing an important job. And of course, I encourage you guys to look more into our Bible story of today and read a little bit more into that and a little more of that story, and make sure that you guys are staying connected with us, and of course, most importantly, trusting God, trusting his work, trusting everything he does for us, especially at a time like this, especially at a time that seems a little bit scary. Making sure that we are putting all of our trust in him, and making sure that we are staying encouraged during a time like this. But anyways, I'll see you guys next Sunday. Hope you have a great week. Awesome. Bye.